Hey folks, we're here with another TEW2020 video. We're here with some AEW Lightning, halfway through the month of August, on the road to All Out, and hoping they beat last week's pretty average 82 rated show. Not much to bother on about. We have, of course, that match we said was going to take place between Bandido and Andrade Idolo, as we have roughly about 14 segments, and of course our 6 dark matches. So without further ado, this week's AEW Lightning. It's time. So 40,000 sold out in the University of Dayton Arena. Brian Pillman Jr. picks up a win over Jack Evans, which is a 65. Pretty solid stuff there with the Tornado DDT. Good opener to the show. We then saw Scorpio Sky defeat Peter Avalon in 8-10 with the Blackout. That was a 64. Pretty good stuff. Moving forward, we saw Platinum Max Caster defeat Michael Nakazawa in 7:52 by submission. That was a 38. We saw Jacob Fatu defeat Ua Nation in 8:16 with a Samoan drop, 67. Good return to action for Jacob Fatu. We saw Hikaru Shida defeat Tai Conte in 8:23 with a Tamashi no free count. This was only 48, so a wee bit disappointing there. We really have to look at building Shida up going forward. And we had Chris Statlander defeating Killer Kelly in 8:29 by pinfall, a 44. I think that's actually two of the more disappointing overness of the women that we've got, is probably Statlander and Shida. Especially when Shida had a long title reign with Kenny. That never really seemed to work for her, quite to the levels it's benefited Anna Jay and Britt Baker, so we need to look into that. Show itself starts with our two combatants for the AEW World Championship, Andrade, Idolo and Kenny Omega. Kenny just says this week he's going to keep a keen eye on Andrade's fight with Bandido. He says, a lot of pressure on that one, you don't want to be losing. You're not carrying a full wave of momentum into our matchup. So good luck, buddy. I'll take a close eye at that matchup. So a 90 rated segment to set up obviously Bandido versus Andrade. Opening contest had the Good Brothers defeat Undisputed Honor in 10-14 when Doc Gallows pinned Roderick Strong with a bicycle kick. A 73 here. The run that the Undisputed Honor's been on has been fantastic. Kyle's at a fantastic level over this, but I need to get the Good Brothers over, and Gallows especially, hence why he picks up the victory with a 73 rated match is a good success. After the matchup, they bump it proud and powerful, and the two teams start brawling. So obviously these two teams have got a history. It's not a tag match I'm going to go for at All Out, but I just want Gallows and Anderson to be aware they still have heat and a bit of confrontation with Santana and Ortiz, but 78, pretty good. Then had a matchup between Sammy Guevara and Orange Cassidy one more time, and Sammy picks up the win in 10:07 with the 6:30. 81, 83 for Orange, 82 for Sammy. Something that shows how poorly I've booked Sammy recently. Both guys with great chemistry together, and that was just a regular matchup. I then had a poor matchup that saw Bayley and Kairi Hojo defeat Fight Camp in 9:09 when Bayley pinned Layla Hirsch with a belly to belly suplex. A 61. Disappointingly, this could have been booked better by our road agent Awesome Kong. I was wondering why I still had Kong on the roster when she'd retired. Thought I'd give her a chance to the road agent, and turns out she's not a very good one. So it may be future endeavour time for Awesome Kong, but a 61 regardless. Your champion and your tag champs in there could be a bit better. I think each of them loses a couple of points because of that, so you're probably looking at a normal 65 rated matchup. After the matchup, we hear from both Mercedes Varnado and Ashley, who obviously have a really strong prior history. But basically Mercedes says, well, it seems like you had a tough match tonight surviving that Bayley against Layla Hirsch and Daria, but just be ready because we are going to have an absolute war when it comes to All Out, and I'm going to do my best to end your career before it gets started really here in AEW. And Ashley just says, if that's the level you've got, Kairi, you better just hand me that championship now, because I'm going to be the queen, Andrade is going to be the king, and we're going to be the power couple of all elite wrestling. So 75, not too bad. Just hope that Awesome Kong isn't on any more segments. Promo. Cole and Britt Baker, they basically say they've obviously got a surprise from Moxley and Thunder Rosa, and it is in the form of their opponents tonight. They say they'll be sitting ringside to see how they fare against Chelsea Green of the Fashion Empire and Frankie Kazarian. 82, pretty strong promo. The matchup was only a 74, but Moxley and Thunder Rosa pick up the win over Kazarian and Chelsea Green in 13:07 when Thunder Rosa pinned Frankie Kazarian with the reverse DDT. Moxley strongest, Chelsea weakest here, 74. The reason I'd Thunder Rosa pin Kazarian is, one, remember Kazarian cheated on with Bandido Rhodes, so obviously Cody would be pissed, so he's a wee bit, you've pissed off an EVP, so obviously booking's going to go against you, and I felt like that would benefit Thunder Rosa's popularity a bit better. Kazarian was also off his game, to add insult to injury, but at 74, Moxley looks $1,000,000, and after the matchup, they spot Britt Baker and Adam Cole, and they both hit their respective finishing moves on them. At 79, Moxley star, Adam Cole excellent, Thunder Rosa underperformed, but hopefully it can help her overness, but the fact that Britt didn't get underperformed showcases that her overness is really, really grew, which you'll love to see. Promo from Walter, and he just says he's been champion now for a month or so, and he's just looking at the talent here in AEW. Doesn't feel like there's anyone that's near his level for the AEW Live Championship. Will any competition step forward? Simple promo, effective promo. More on that in the upcoming weeks, but 69 as we'll set up Walter's match for All Out. Then the matchup between Bandido and Andrade saw Bandido pick up the win in 13:48 with a fast roll up due to a distraction from Kenny Omega. Simple, effective, how you keep the main event storyline going. Andrade will probably lose some overness here, but he was happy to put over Bandido, and a 75 is the resulting rating. Promo from Generico using EG Web Translate. Now, it just uses subtitles, so it basically just says, very interesting that Walter says there's no one that's up to his level. He was quite interested in winning that TNT Championship belt. So a 69, but as I say, more on that feud going forward. And the main event for the evening saw a superb matchup between Rey Fenix and Cody, and had superb wrestling and great heat, with Cody Rhodes defeating Rey Fenix in 22:42 with a crossroads. Of course, we like to have interference to set up our matches, with Penta again getting the better of Rey Fenix. So 83, you continue the Phoenix and Penta feud, and we finish the show off with Penta just bashing Rey Fenix with a ladder. There's a few matches I actually want to make ladder matches, so we might have more than one at All Out, but I want to make that as like a kind of climb the ladder, like a pinnacle type thing, because it is like the end of season. I view All Out as Mania, so that's the kind of reason and thinking behind that. 84 for the show, and that increased their popularity in 27 regions, but you can see again most of it in the dark green, so hopefully, or the light green, that benefits us going forward. I think the mid-card's in a good position. I feel what we're lacking is we've got quite a few people in the 90 overness, but see that kind of 80 to 90, I don't feel we've got too much there. But let's go over what's happened. So Kenny Omega has a new catchphrase, so something better than good day, good night, mwah. Marty Scurll and Flip Gordon, we'll ignore them. WW have split with New Japan. AEW Lightning was fantastic reviews. Rhino's retired, and that'll be interesting. I don't feel that Warrior Wrestling is going to be that big, it's still small. Viewing figures was a 7.06, so again not the best in the world. Last thing I want to check, can we buy any companies? We already have All Japan. I think if we're going to buy anything, it's either going to be Progress, or truthfully, probably just going to have to start our own company for a developmental, like a proper one in the US, not like obviously All Japan are just sending people to NWA. Progress, I'm not interested, not enough debt. That's fine, that's cool. Yeah, pretty much, hopefully this time, as I say, we'll book the actual show correctly this time in Japan. Just to give you an idea of what we'd done, was my show history. So I just went with basically Lance Archer over T-Hawk, a Nakamura promo, which was fantastic, 86. El Phantasmo, Gabriel Kidd, Hana Kimura versus Tay Conti, Kerry Hojo talking to the crowd, Minoru Suzuki over Rey Mysterio, Nakamura v Brody. They didn't click, so that would have been far better than that, but put it in Kanto. I should have put it in the place we need to be at. But I say, sellout, show's not broadcasted, it's just basically a weekly pay-per-view, basically, a weekly event every Friday, AEW Japan. So hopefully that is the place we're targeting. It's up to 47, so I'm hoping if we have some good lightnings, we can get Dynamite on it, we can keep AEW Japan going, we can get that to 77, because that's the only place that and that Hokkaido, which I would find in like 1-2 shows, will be there. We'll be a Titanic company, raking in all the money, and then we can just start expanding everything. But that's for then, and this is for now. As I said earlier, good day, good night. Mwah. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed that, wee thumbs up's appreciated. If you haven't already subbed, just drops these boxes into your box, your inbox, your sub box. Boxes are hard. I'm not editing that out. You'll get the gist of it, basically. Saves you for trail and try to find it and continue with the series. But yeah, let us know what you think. I don't know how you're finding TW, how you feel about the wrestling world in general. And until next time, bye bye.